Well, howdy, I'm John Mark Dempsey, and here with us, Dr. Deana Steeber.
Hi.
Deana is Sulphur Springs ISD Superintendent. Last time we talked, I don't remember if school had just started or if it was just about to start, but the very, very beginning of school, and we were just at the edge of the new policy coming in having to do with cell phones, and I think there was, all across Texas, there was a considerable amount of anxiety that went with that. But everything I have read since then has just been overwhelmingly positive, almost across the board.
Yes, we have had very positive results. Students have adjusted really well. We don't have really very many discipline issues as a result of it, and it's really cool to see, especially our secondary, like our middle and high school, our cafeterias at lunch, they're louder, because the students are talking and having conversations. They're playing cards, playing games. That
is great.
It's really neat to see.
I was a college professor for many years, and the last 10 years or so would walk into a classroom, 20 kids or more, sometimes as many as 100 even. And they were not talking to each other at all. It was almost completely silent, everybody looking down at their phone. And so I know exactly what you're talking about, and that is good, that they are interacting more.
Yeah, it's been a very positive experience so far.
Now the policy, I think we may have discussed this, but they're allowed to keep the cell phone, but it has to be not within their easy reach.
Right. Yes, it just has to be turned off and put away in their backpack or purse or whatever. But yes, it just has to be turned off and put away. But they can still keep it on their person in a bag. Yeah.
But they're not allowed to use it, certainly not in class. But that was already the rule in Sulphur Springs.
Right. That was already in place.
Yeah. But not between classes, and as you say, not at lunchtime.
Right, yes, from the time the first bell rings in the morning until the bell rings for dismissal in the afternoons. They're not allowed to turn it on, to use it at all.
We had a story that we had on the news, and this was one we borrowed from one of the Tyler TV stations, but talking to one of the Mineola teachers, and she was saying just that the quality of instruction in class had improved.
Oh, that would make sense.
Enormously.
Sure. Yeah.
And so the teachers are enthusiastic about this.
They are. Yeah, they seem to be. And again, I'm not aware of, I'm not aware that our teachers have had major issues, with it in class and whatnot.
Yeah, it wasn't that much of a problem for you all in class before. But
yeah, not necessarily in class, but it certainly, things happen in the cafeteria.
Right. Well, you said this about me on Instagram, and then this spreads.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. I can imagine the disturbance of that. So for all the concern about it, looks like it was a good move.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, very much so. It, almost like it took some pressure off of our students.
Sure.
Just to have to, not have to keep up with the social media, things through the day. And
they may feel relieved.
I would suspect that might be the case.
Isn't that interesting? It really is. All right, so something else that is taking place, that there's big changes in the STAAR test now coming. We talked about this before, and the state legislature now has settled on 3 tests instead of 1, the idea being that it takes the pressure off there being one big test at the end of the year. But now you have 3 tests instead of 1. So
yeah.
So what's your?
On one hand, we're certainly grateful that the legislature tried to do something, right? I mean, they recognized a problem and tried to make a change. I think most of us probably wish that there could have been a little more time spent studying it and gathering some input as far as determining what the best course of action is going forward. But now, even though it's 3 shorter tests in place of a longer test, that's still 3 testing days. It's still 3 lost days of instruction. So, a beginning of year assessment, a middle of year, and an end of year. And then if you're looking at English language arts, they've there will be the beginning, middle, and end for the reading portion, and then one writing test at the end. So that one test is now replaced with 4. So that, that's a little frustrating, and, we're just anxious to see how the growth will be factored in. What we're learning so far is that the beginning of the year and the middle of the year will be norm reference test, and then the end of the year will be a criterion reference test, and, just trying to determine how you would measure growth between those, because, norm and criterion reference are, looking at different things, measuring different things. So.
The idea is it not to give you some point of reference at the beginning of the year and some point of reference in the middle of the year?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Now, this takes place, then the changes will not take place until next school year.
Correct.
Am I correct? So you've still got the one big test now coming up at the end of this year. Okay, so still a lot to learn about it.
Still a lot to learn about it, for sure.
What else is going on? You have a groundbreaking coming up?
We do.
soon?
We have Rowena Johnson coming up in early October, and so we're looking forward to that. Of course, we've already broken ground out there, but we were waiting for the temperatures to cool down a little bit.
A ceremony.
Yes. So we're looking forward to, just honoring Rowena Johnson's legacy with the school district, and having her family, there celebrating with us as well.
And
so.
what's the address, or just the?
It's on South College, so it's south of the interstate.
Right. Got it. Good. Very good. Early October.
Early October.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Deana Steeber, Superintendent of Sulphur Springs ISD. Thanks for having that second cup of coffee with us.
Thank you.
I'm John Mark Dempsey. This is KSST.